You've done all the right things. You've cut out the greasy fast food. You take your daily walk around the neighborhood. Maybe you even keep your salt low and your greens high. But here's the problem no one wants to admit. Your arteries might still be clogging. Yes, even with a clean diet and a bit of daily movement, many people over 60 still find themselves facing heart blockages. Why? Isn't cholesterol the culprit? Isn't high blood pressure the enemy? What if I told you the real troublemaker isn't either of those, and it's been silently working against your body for years? It's called insulin resistance, and most folks don't even know they have it. It doesn't show up like a fever. It doesn't knock you out like a cold. But inside your blood vessels, it quietly scrapes and inflames the walls of your arteries, laying the groundwork for plaque to form. And here's the kicker. Most doctors don't explain how it works in plain English, so you're left with medications, vague warnings, and a growing fear of what's next. But today, you're going to understand it. You'll see how something as simple as a watermelon rind, a bowl of oatmeal, and a good night's sleep can help open your arteries naturally. Because instead of just trying to lower a number on a blood test, what if you could change the way your arteries actually work? What if the food on your plate, done right, could ease the pressure off your heart, help you breathe easier, and even clear the path for better blood flow to your brain? That's not wishful thinking. It's real, and it's backed by science. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover what most cardiologists won't tell you until it's too late. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where to start without needing a prescription in your pocket. Let's talk about something most people over 60 have heard of, but rarely understand fully. Insulin resistance. Sounds complicated, right? But think of it this way. Imagine your cells are like locked doors, and insulin is the key. Every time you eat, especially foods with carbohydrates, your body produces insulin to unlock those doors and let sugar from your food enter the cells and get used for energy. But here's the problem. Over time, especially after years of high sugar diets, stress, poor sleep, or inactivity, the locks stop working properly. Your body still makes insulin, but the doors don't open like they used to. The keys are there, but the locks are rusty. So what happens? Sugar stays in your blood, and your pancreas, thinking it needs to work harder, pumps out even more insulin. The result? High blood sugar and high insulin at the same time, a dangerous combination. This state is what we call insulin resistance. And here's the scary part. Most people have no idea it's happening until they're suddenly dealing with high blood pressure, weight gain, or worst of all, blocked arteries. Why blocked arteries? Because sugar that stays in your bloodstream too long doesn't just sit there. It damages the lining of your arteries, the inner walls that should stay smooth and flexible. That damage invites inflammation, and inflammation invites plaque. Before you know it, you've got a traffic jam in your bloodstream. Compare it to pouring syrup down a garden hose every day. It sticks. It gums up. Over time, water stops flowing smoothly. That's exactly what happens in your arteries. And here's the kicker. Insulin resistance can cause this long before you're ever diagnosed with diabetes. You might feel normal. You might even get told your numbers are borderline. But inside, your arteries are paying the price. So let's be clear. It's not just about cholesterol. It's not just about fat. It's not even just about aging. It's about how your body handles insulin. And the good news? You can change it, starting today. Because once you understand that the real enemy is this invisible silent resistance, everything else begins to make sense. Later in this video, I'll show you the foods and habits that reverse insulin resistance naturally and support your arteries the way nature intended. But first, let's look at how to tell if this problem is already knocking at your door. So how do you know if insulin resistance is already creeping in? That's the tricky part. It doesn't wave a red flag or hit you like a heart attack. It's slow, silent, and easy to miss. But your body often whispers before it screams. You just have to know what to listen for. Let me walk you through 5 early warning signs that many people over 60 experience without realizing what they really mean. 1. Belly fat that won't go away. If you've noticed your waistline expanding, even when your overall weight hasn't changed much, that's a clue. Insulin resistance tends to store fat around the belly. It's not just cosmetic, it's metabolic. 2. Low energy after meals. Ever feel tired or foggy after eating, especially after bread, pasta, or sweets? That's not just food coma. It might be your cells struggling to use the sugar properly. 3. Cravings for sugar and carbs. You eat, but an hour later, you're hungry again. And it's always for something starchy or sweet. That's your cells saying, we're not getting the fuel we need, even though your blood is swimming in sugar. 4. High triglycerides and low HDL on a blood test. You might not remember all your lab numbers, but if your doctor ever said your triglycerides were high, or your good cholesterol, HDL, was low, that's often a red flag for insulin resistance, even if your fasting glucose looks normal. 5. High blood pressure that sneaks up. When insulin can't do its job, it affects more than sugar. It causes your kidneys to hold on to sodium and fluids, raising your blood pressure over time. Now you might be thinking, but my doctor never mentioned this. That's common. Many doctors treat the symptoms, blood pressure, cholesterol, sugar, but don't connect the dots. And that's why people keep getting sicker even while taking their pills. So if you've seen even a few of these signs, it's worth digging deeper. Ask your doctor about HOMA-IR, fasting insulin, and HbA1c, not just blood sugar alone. Those tests give a better picture of how your body handles insulin long before diabetes sets in, because the sooner you catch it, the faster you can change it. And next, I'll show you the simple, natural foods that can start healing your arteries from the inside out. Now let's talk about something that doesn't come in a pill bottle, but might just change your heart health for the better. Food. Not just any food. Foods that open up your arteries, support better blood flow, and help your body make more of something called nitric oxide. Why does nitric oxide matter? Because it's your body's natural way of relaxing and widening the blood vessels. Think of it like flipping a switch that says, let the blood flow. More flow means lower blood pressure, more oxygen to your heart and brain, and less stress on the heart itself. Now here's the exciting part. Your body makes nitric oxide from a nutrient called citrulline, and citrulline is found in some very everyday foods, some of which might be in your fridge right now. Let's start with watermelon. Yes, that sweet, juicy summer fruit holds a secret. Not only is it delicious, but it's rich in citrulline, especially in the white part of the rind. That's right. The part most people throw away is where the magic lives. Citrulline gets converted into arginine and then into nitric oxide, your natural artery opener. And watermelon isn't alone. You'll find citrulline in cucumber squash, especially when cooked, pumpkin melons like cantaloupe and honeydew. These aren't exotic health foods. They're affordable, accessible, and easy to add to your meals. Now let's address the elephant in the room. But aren't these fruits high in sugar? It's a fair question, especially if you're managing blood sugar or have diabetes. The answer? Yes, they contain natural sugars, but they also contain water, fiber, and nutrients that help slow absorption. It's not the same as eating cake or soda. The key is moderation and timing. For example, a slice of watermelon after a walk or with some protein is much less likely to spike blood sugar than eating it alone while sitting still. And for those concerned about blood sugar, focus on the rind. It's lower in sugar and higher in citrulline. Some people even pickle it or blended into smoothies. These foods aren't just sweet, they're smart. They give your body tools to keep arteries flexible, reduce pressure, and feed your organs the oxygen they desperately need. So instead of chasing another supplement or prescription, what if your healing started on your plate? In just a moment, I'll show you how daily habits, like poor sleep and stress, can undo all your good efforts, and how to fix that before it turns into another diagnosis. You could be eating all the right foods, drinking your smoothies, and avoiding junk, but if a few key habits aren't in place, your arteries may still be under attack. Because it's not just what you eat, it's what your whole lifestyle tells your body day after day. Let's talk about 4 silent habits that may be quietly tightening your arteries, even if you're doing everything right. 1. Poor sleep. Sleep isn't just rest, it's repair time. When you don't get enough deep sleep, your body holds on to more stress hormones, raises your blood pressure, and worsens insulin resistance. One bad night might not hurt, but years of poor sleep, that adds up. 2. Chronic stress. A little stress is normal, but when stress becomes your default setting, when your heart is racing while you're sitting still, your body's in fight or flight mode. That raises cortisol, worsens blood sugar, and keeps inflammation high. Stress doesn't just steal your peace, it can stiffen your blood vessels. 3. Dehydration. Blood needs water to flow smoothly. When you're dehydrated, even just mildly, your blood gets thicker, your heart works harder, and plaque has an easier time sticking to vessel walls. Aim for 1.5 to 2 liters of water a day. And yes, that includes in winter too. 4. Eating too many invisible carbs. You may not be spooning sugar into your coffee, but carbs hide everywhere. White bread, crackers, low-fat snacks, even some so-called health foods. These spike your insulin and keep your resistance alive. Remember the comment from that man who played 2 hours of badminton daily, didn't touch fried food, yet had a massive heart attack? That wasn't bad luck. It was probably a combination of hidden carbs, unrelenting stress, and poor sleep, wearing his arteries down from the inside. So here's the truth. A healthy lifestyle is more than just diet. It's about balance, rest, movement, hydration, mindset. Instead of asking, what's the perfect food? Start asking, is my daily life giving my arteries a break or beating them up? And now let's talk about one overlooked nutrient that does cleanup duty inside your arteries and the groundbreaking research that proves it. You've probably heard that fiber is good for digestion, but here's something most doctors don't emphasize enough. Soluble fiber can help clean out your arteries. Yes, really. Not by scraping them clean, of course, but by reducing the cholesterol and inflammation that help form plaque in the first place, and even helping the body reabsorb and shrink existing blockages. Let's break that down. Soluble fiber is the type of fiber that dissolves in water and turns into a gel-like substance in your gut. That gel traps cholesterol and bile acids and helps carry them out of your body. This forces your liver to pull LDL, bad cholesterol, out of your blood to make more bile. The result? Lower LDL levels and a better chance of slowing or even reversing plaque buildup. But don't just take my word for it. Let's talk about Dr. Dean Ornish, a name worth remembering. Back in the 1990s, he conducted a groundbreaking study that changed how we think about heart disease. In his lifestyle heart trial, patients with severe heart blockages didn't get more stents or surgeries. Instead, they changed their diet, stress levels, exercise, and social connection. The result? Within just 1 year, their artery blockages started to reverse. After 5 years, the reversal was even stronger. Nearly 8% reduction in plaque, while the control group's blockages worsened by 28%. This wasn't a theory. It was tracked using actual scans of the heart, And yes, soluble fiber was a key part of the diet. Whole grains, fruits, legumes, oats. Now here's something practical. Eating just 3 grams of beta-glucan per day, that's about 1 cup of cooked oatmeal, can lower LDL cholesterol by up to 10%. Ground flaxseed, chia seeds, psyllium husk, beans, and apples are also excellent sources, and the benefits go beyond cholesterol. Soluble fiber supports a healthy gut, reduces inflammation, and improves blood sugar control, all of which help ease the burden on your arteries. So instead of only focusing on medications or supplements, ask yourself, am I giving my body the raw materials it needs to heal? Because healing doesn't always start in the doctor's office. Sometimes it starts in your kitchen with a bowl of oats, a spoonful of chia, and a sprinkle of belief that your body can change if you give it the tools. And if you're still wondering whether real people have reversed heart disease with these lifestyle shifts, wait until you hear what happened to one man who almost ended up on the operating table, but walked away with something far better. A few years ago, a man was told he needed a heart stent. The cardiologist was certain. His arteries were too far gone, and without intervention, he was at serious risk. But something didn't sit right with him. Instead of heading straight to the operating room, he paused and went searching. He asked a simple question: can blocked arteries ever heal naturally? That search led him to new habits. He changed his diet, cut out processed carbs, started walking every day, managed stress with deep breathing and prayer, and began eating foods rich in fiber and nitric oxide. Watermelon, oats, cucumbers, lentils. A few months later, when he went in for surgery, they ran the scans again, and the doctor paused. The blockage, it had improved, enough that they no longer recommended the stent. He walked out with no procedure, no scars, just a new understanding of what the body can do when given the chance. Now, is this a miracle? No. It's biology, it's lifestyle, it's hope backed by science. Not everyone will have the same dramatic result. But if even one artery opens a little more, if one blood vessel relaxes, if your heart beats just a bit easier, isn't that worth trying? Because for many, that's not just avoiding a surgery. It's the start of a longer, stronger life. And it could start with something as simple as what's on your plate tomorrow morning. Your body's been waiting for you to listen, not to the noise, not to the fear, but to the wisdom inside you that says there's still time to heal. So start small: a bowl of oatmeal, a slice of watermelon, a deep breath before bed. Because when you open your arteries, you're not just helping your heart, you're giving life back to every cell in your body, your brain, your muscles, your energy, your joy. Start today. Your heart and your future self will thank you.